Hey guys, post-production Sleazy, and after making the first 2 episodes of this series, I figured I should issue some sort of content warning before these videos. When I say this game is disturbing, I'm not kidding. This game has themes and depicts self-harm, suicide, infanticide, and harm to women and children. So if that is something that you aren't comfortable with or you don't want to watch, then I would actually genuinely implore you to please click off the video, as it's pretty rampant throughout this game. And with that out of the way, I usually don't do this, but YouTube really doesn't like people talking about these kinds of topics. So if you think that I did a good job or you liked the video, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because the engagement really helps boost the video out there. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Howdy femboys and girls, it is your boy Sleazy, and we are back with part 3 of the 7-part series of my analysis of one of the most disturbing games that I've ever played, Cry of Fear. Now, before we get into it, I'd like to apologize if my voice sounds a little bit weird. It's because I'm feeling a little under the weather, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't want to put this video off until I was feeling better, because who knows how long that's gonna be, so I figured I'd just tough it out and make the video anyway. We're now into chapter 4, and where we last left off, we had picked up a key from Sophie's body. We now backtrack back to a locked door and head inside. Heading through a short section of tunnel, we eventually make it back out onto the Stockholm streets, where we're introduced to a new type of enemy. Oh fuck, they got guns! Ow, fuck, holy shit. Right. Oh my god. Fucking Christ. Okay, good thing he shot him. Reload, quickly. Oh fuck. Shoot him! Shoot him! Okay, he killed himself. Now, I try and give this game credit where it's deserved, but I also have to call it out where I feel like it's deserved, and this next enemy type is probably one of the worst in the entire game. Now, due to the semi-poor gunplay in the game, which, when facing melee enemies, works to add this sense of panic as you're trying to kill them as quick as possible before they can close the gap, with this enemy that has a gun, it's very frustrating, mainly because the enemies spot you from so far away, and their AI is so good at hitting shots that a lot of times you'll just get melted down to 1 HP before you can really do anything. Dispatching all of the enemies, we walk down into Saxon Station, only to see that we need to find a fuse to unlock the door. Ducking into an alley, we're thrown into another tight chase sequence with the chainsaw enemy. I don't know, I don't mind streaming on YouTube. Holy shit. Oh fuck, he's coming! Oh god, I'm dead. I'm dead as hell. Yep. Only this time, instead of jumping over a railing to escape, we have to quickly flip a switch to keep him from killing us. Oh, I'm dead as hell. Alright, we're chilling. We're chilling. Okay, big, I guess. I blocked him out. Okay, we're fine. Pop this up. Holy fucking Christ! Game, you cannot fucking do this to me. Making our way through a boarded off door, we end up on some sort of boardwalk next to a body of water. Making our way down, we come past a section of scaffolding and end up finding another gun at the end of an alleyway. It's a VP-70, which, for the keen-eyed among you, is actually a reference to Resident Evil 2, as it's the main gun of Leon Kennedy. Now, when I first came to the scaffolding part, I was unironically dreading it, as back in 2021, I played this game for the first time on Twitch, and it took me over an hour to get past this section, as the parkouring in this game is very janky. Double tapping in any direction will cause you to do a dash, which will make you fall very easily. The walkways are also so narrow that it's very easy to try and do a sprint jump and end up just walking off the edge. I'll insert a clip right here from that original reaction to this scaffolding section. Can you fucking... Thank you! Okay. Okay, this is the final jump. Just don't fuck it up now. Here we go. Are you kidding me? Luckily this time I was able to make it past first try, and jumping out of a window we end up back on the streets of Stockholm. We go through a set of sliding doors and end up in some sort of nice, clean office building. It's clean and tidy and extremely well lit, which is almost unheard of for this game. The nicest point we've been to so far was probably the apartments, and even that was dark and a bit dingy, so seeing such a nice and pristine area is almost unheard of. But for those of you who have watched part 1 and 2 of this series, you know that this game loves to twist and distort the world into something hellish and nightmarish, so as we come across a fuse box and know that we have to take it, a sense of dread and anticipation builds up as the second you take that fuse box, all of this level of comfort and safety is going to be stripped away. Progress, this is big. Oh, this is probably where I get the fuses from. Fuse. Bam. Oh. I panicked. I fucking panicked. As you stumble through the darkness, their emaciated, frail frames shamble towards you, seemingly coming out of nowhere, the only indication that they're even coming towards you being they're screaming. Wait, no. Okay. I have a little bit more. There's one right there. Oh fuck, oh shit, oh shit. Stumbling through the darkness, we eventually find our way into a side room where we get a key to unlock the back door. With fuse in hand, we head back to Saxon Ave. Using it to open the unlocked door, we then head into the subway station. We come across another one of those large, fleshy masses with swinging tendrils, blocking one of the railways, so it's immediately obvious that we need to get the train running in order to destroy it. Making our way into the back engine rooms, we are given some sort of timing puzzle where we have to flip a switch and then quickly run to the unlocked door, which then locks behind us, leaving us trapped. As we head through the door, we're told that our phone battery is dying. Our phone throughout the game has been one of the only sources of comfort that we have, not only acting as our only source of light in dark areas, but also being the only connection to other people that we've had throughout the entire story.
Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. Who is this?
Where are you?
How did you get my number? Can you help me? What the fuck is going on in this town?
I need to speak to you, Simon. I'm up on the roof. Of this part.
You're... what? You're up on the roof? I can't hear what you're saying. Hello? Hello, are you still there?
We flip one of the switches and the subway starts moving, destroying the fleshy creature, and this is when the tension really builds, because you're forced to go into an extremely dark area, now unequipped with any source of light. Luckily, the game equips you with flares, but the only thing is that these work as extremely effective tools to build up suspense, as not only is the light on them, the range limited, but also they are time limited, meaning that you have this constant sense that at any moment you could be plunged into extreme darkness. Add to this the fact that you can't reload while you're dual wielding, and you end up with this overwhelming sense of vulnerability. Making our way through the subway system, we climb up another ladder before ending up in another series of lightless corridors that are so tight that there's no way to dodge or avoid enemies. You're forced into confrontation. We also hear extremely loud thumping and banging as we make our way through these corridors. section has probably some of the best atmosphere in the entire game, both because of the decrepit atmosphere and decor of the buildings, as well as the maze-like layout of the buildings themselves. Not to mention that there are almost surreal sections of entirely too long ladders or bottomless pits with pipes running through that you need to parkour across. The whole time, the banging noises in the vents getting closer and closer. Eventually, at one point, I completely succumbed to my own fear and began to panic, eventually falling down a ladder and almost dying. There is something that is fucking on my ass, bro. Not like that, not like it's fucking on my ass, but like it's on my ass, bro. It's on my ass. It's on my ass, bro. Oh shit! I lived it. That's fine. Which fucking direction? This way. This way. Go fucking through, bro, please. Eventually solving a small puzzle where you have to avoid an oncoming train and making our way through a few more ducts, we eventually end up back on the main station. I really thought that train was gonna fucking run me down. Once again, we come across the doctor and see him killing a seemingly innocent person. Only this time, he makes an interesting note after killing him that the man probably would have done it to himself anyway. This is where I began to theorize or believe that the doctor is exactly that, a doctor, potentially a psychiatrist or therapist that Simon was seeing that he felt never was able to understand or help him. This may be why he views him as being so hostile.
Hey! What the fuck are you doing?
Not you again.
Wait!
Following the doctor, we make our way down a long escalator before we come to yet another locked door. You're told you need 2 fuses to open it, one at the train station you're currently at, and one at a train station earlier in the game. Now, if you watched the first episode, I mentioned that backtracking is one of the best and worst parts of this game, as it allows the game to twist and distort environments around you in examples such as the apartments, but later on it would get egregious. Well, this is later on, as this is the single worst part of the game. I would do the sliding puzzle from episode 2 a million times if it meant that I could avoid doing this backtracking section, because it forces you to backtrack through the entire game. And not only that, but it will let you walk in the wrong direction for a solid 15 minutes, only to then lock a seemingly random door will just be locked, so you can't progress, and it will tell you you need to go all the way back and go a different route. What? You are here, Fuse. So I gotta go. So I went the wrong way, I'm guessing, or the correct way, the way that the game thought people would go, because they thought to put a fucking map here to tell you that you went the wrong fucking way and you need to go all the way the fuck back and through. I gotta go all the way back to Preston Street. They let me walk all this fucking way just to tell me that I needed to go back to Preston Street and go the other way. God fucking damn it. This is not only extremely time consuming, but extremely tedious, as there seems to be so many different back alleys and sideways and ladders that you can go up and down, and new things that are unlocked and old things that are locked for seemingly no reason, that it leads to this overwhelming feeling of confusion on where you're supposed to go. This is my longest recording session by far, over 2.5 hours, and over half of that time is just me spent walking around seemingly aimlessly trying to figure out where to go. I mean, the game puts little lamps and tries to flash lights on where you're supposed to go, but when you're allowed to free roam the entire area, and there's lamps everywhere, some from previous parts of the game and some that are just appearing now, it becomes almost impossible to differentiate which one is which. I feel like the game very much could have signposted a little bit more on where you're supposed to go, or at least blocked off certain areas until you explore the ones you're supposed to explore first, as there is an order to getting the fuses. You can't get one and then the other in whatever order you feel like. No, you have to go to do one first and then backtrack again and do the second one. So why not block off that second one, or that entire path to that second one, until you get the first one? Now, I'm sorry if you feel like I'm rambling on about this point for a bit too long, or if you feel I'm being a bit too hard on the game, but it's like I mentioned with the sliding puzzle in episode 2. Frustration overrules fear. So when you have an extremely long section like this that's just very tedious and frustrating, it really takes you out of the atmosphere and takes you out of the scariness of the game, and it's really hard to get back into that mindset or get back into that, mood after a section like this. Eventually, we somehow end up back at the apartments. We find a ladder and use it to climb inside through one of the windows. It seems to be even more distorted than the last time we were here, but using our previous knowledge, we eventually make it to a previously chained and locked off door, now open. Oh yeah! Okay, well, that's not good. That's where I could have literally just ran and jumped up that, couldn't I? Whatever. This is open now, whereas it was closed before. Heading inside, we see an apartment covered from the ceiling to the floor, every square inch soaked in blood. There's no sound, no music, no anything. The silence is deafening and really adds to this realism of the moment. It has never been this quiet in the fucking game before, and that's really fucking with me. I kind of want to heal first before I go down there, but it's my only one. Fuck it. In the middle of the floor, we see a hatch with a pit leading down. I believe this to be some sort of allegory or metaphor for Simon's depression, as I believe this to be Simon's very own apartment. As we climb down the ladder, we end up in a dirty, tiled hallway, decrepit and old. As we continue to walk down what feels like an infinitely looping hallway, we begin to hear somebody talk about Simon's condition, and I believe this to be the doctor.
He was watching it like it was yesterday. Despite the fact that it causes him tremendous anxiety, he insists on returning. He insists it's for therapeutic reasons, but I remain skeptical. He doesn't respond well to questions about his personal life. He became extremely angry when I mentioned events prior to what he insisted on describing as a black day. His school and home life were no-go topics when discussing these feelings and anxieties. He told me the other day that he'd been seeing hallucinations, but couldn't give a clear description of what he'd been seeing. Naturally, I didn't take him seriously. I saw no evidence to suggest this was the case, but upped his prescription anyway. He claims the extra medication helps.
Making it through the door at the end of the hallway, we see the same biting, gnawing head creature from the very beginning of the game. Rusty cages begin to unlock, unleashing the same gray, shambling creatures from earlier. Dispatching them, the door opens up and you're free to walk through, only to then be attacked by the chainsaw man and fall into a deep, dark pit. Enemies run at you out of the darkness from every angle as you desperately try and flee for the exit. This was a bad decision. Keep the stamina so in case you need to fucking whatever, in case you need to dodge. Okay, I made it out. Making it through the door, we end up back inside the blood-soaked apartment with the fuse sitting in the middle of the floor. This goes completely against earlier when it said it would be at Hassan Station, but that's to be expected with how twisted and distorted and depraved Simon's mind has really become at this stage in the game. Making it through the flooded basement of the apartment building, we find a ladder and are able to climb out of the building. Making it back to the subway station, we insert the 2 fuses and are finally allowed to go through the door. Making our way deeper into the subway tunnels, we hop aboard one of the trains, only this one isn't heading where we need to go. It instead has a sledgehammer in the back that we can use to knock down a crumbling brick wall. This reveals a set of yellow double doors, and as we head through, we quickly find out that this isn't just a normal subway hall, but instead another example of Simon's twisted, deluded mind. We quickly end up in a black void of a room with the walkways twisting and distorting into knots. The same gray creatures from earlier are now caged up, perpetually slitting their wrists. The walkway is stained with blood, and there's this constant droning noise playing over top, interspliced with tortured screaming. We come across a set of floating doors, and heading through, we walk through a short asylum hallway before ending up inside of a padded room. There's a note on the floor with some sort of poem on it that we can use to determine the door order that we have to walk through in order to escape. This note is also clearly about Simon's accident, with it even talking about the mental fallout that would come as a result, with him talking about his potential thoughts of suicide. Physically broken, mentally. The men in white placed him in the rolling chairs. How he laughed, and so he lived what remained of his life. One day fate smiled upon the child, and so he came upon the implement of his destruction. Decisions, the outcome was not certain. Pro captu lectoris habent salvata labelli. I don't fucking know. I don't know what that says. It's Latin. Walking through the twisted hallways of the asylum once more, we drop down through a window into a rusted steel maze of sorts with hanging creatures tied up in straitjackets, flailing and writhing around, and if they get too close, they'll instantly kill you. Making our way through and avoiding all the monsters, we're treated to another cutscene. First try, are you kidding me?
Suffered severe spinal damage in the accident. It's a miracle he still retains upper body motion. From the waist down, however, there is no nervous response at all. Not to mention the mental trauma he suffered. From what I can tell, Simon is a deeply disturbed individual who had mental problems even prior to the accident.
Holy fuck! Holy shit.
Made it through first try. That took me way more attempts last time than it did this time. I have just overall done way better.
What the fuck? Wasn't this where I came from? No. Something is obviously not right. I should hurry now. Before something else happens.
And this cutscene really confirms a lot of my theories, as we see the doctor talking in that cutscene about Simon's nervous damage, confirming he's in a wheelchair, as well as the fact that that doctor is wearing the same outfit as the doctor that we see in the game. On top of this, it has the same voice as the voice that we hear talking about giving Simon more prescriptions and about his hallucinations, as well as the hallucinations being completely confirmed by Simon checking back into the door that he just walked through and not seeing anything, meaning that most of this game is just his own internalized trauma. And that brings an end to Chapter 4, and unfortunately an end to this video, as that's all I have time for today. There are 3 chapters left in the game, so we're a little bit over halfway, and if you like this video, there will be a link to part 1 and 2 in the description. and also a link to the game if you want to play it for yourself, as it's completely free and it's really not that big of a game. I promise whatever computer you're on can run this game, so go check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Also, I just wanted to say thank you guys for the support on episodes 1 and 2, as I honestly didn't think that many people would want to watch like an analysis or a review or whatever you want to call this of, you know, a game, especially from me, but the support you guys showed on the last 2 videos has been absolutely insane, so I just want to say thank you. And if you guys like this video, please consider liking it or giving a comment, as the YouTube algorithm really doesn't like people talking about the, you know, topics of like depression and suicide, which is what this game is all about. So any level of interaction with the video really helps me out a lot. Also, if you guys would like my content and like my videos, please consider subscribing, as we're getting super close to 1,000, and my goal right now is to hit 1,000 subscribers before the 2-year anniversary of this channel, which is coming up at the end of next month. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you in the next video.